Life is short, how to spend it wisely. Have you ever stopped to think that you might be wasting the most valuable thing you have, without even realizing it? The truth? Most people don't wake up until it's too late. They live like time is infinite, but it's not. It's running out. While you rush from one task to the next, checking boxes on endless to-do lists, life is quietly slipping away. And in the end, you realize you were too busy to actually live. What you're about to hear today isn't cheap productivity advice or overused self-help quotes. It's a battle manual to awaken your mind, align your purpose, and make every minute of your existence count. Yes, we'll talk about time, but we'll also dive into energy, career, health, emotions, money, and most importantly, meaning. This video will challenge your choices, force you to rethink your priorities, and help you see time in a way no one may have shown you before. So if you're ready to stop merely existing and start living wisely, stay with me until the end. Topic 1: Perception of time and psychology. There's a strange trick time plays on all of us. When you were a child, summers stretched on like they'd never end. A single afternoon felt like a lifetime of adventures, didn't it? But now, blink, and a whole year is gone. That's not your imagination. It's your brain. New experiences register more deeply, making time feel fuller. As adults, stuck in routines, we fall into auto mode, and our days blur into one long gray fog. What if I told you the key to slowing time is novelty? A different route to work. A surprise visit to an art exhibit. Learning to salsa on a Tuesday night when you'd normally scroll your phone until midnight. These tiny choices, these micro-decisions, are how you reclaim the richness of each moment. Think of your brain like a journal. It only writes down what it hasn't seen before. No novelty, no memory. No memory, no sense of time. And when you realize how many thousands of days you've already spent, it gets real. If you're 30, you've burned through over 11,000 days. Gone. Irrecoverable. That hits hard, doesn't it? This is why staying present, mentally awake, is not a luxury. It's the price of admission to a life well lived. But how do you know what's actually worth your attention in a world screaming for it from every direction? That brings us to something even more urgent. Priority management. Being busy is one of the most seductive lies of modern life. People hustle through to-do lists like it's a badge of honor, but being in motion is not the same as making progress. Ask yourself this: if you were lying on your deathbed tomorrow, what from today would have really mattered? That email? That meeting? Or was it the time you could have spent in silence, laughing with your child, calling your mother, or working on that project your soul keeps whispering about? Now, here's a tool that separates the wise from the merely occupied, the two-list strategy. First, write down everything you think is important. Then, circle the top 3, only 3. The rest? That's your avoid at all costs list. Yes, avoid. Not because those things are bad, but because they distract you from what's essential. And let's be real. In a world full of shiny, urgent noise, knowing what not to do is a superpower. The real trick is consistency. Small, daily investments in the right priorities compound like interest. Imagine spending just 20 focused minutes a day on your future. Your book, your business, your health. Now imagine what that becomes in a year. But beware, distractions are everywhere, dressed up like important things. They'll rob you blind if you're not careful. And speaking of things that slip by unnoticed, what if the true wealth of life isn't what you do, but who you do it with? Relationship dynamics. Imagine every relationship in your life as a bank account. Each small act of kindness, each moment of presence, those are deposits. But every time you're late, dismissive, or self-absorbed, you're making silent withdrawals. The problem? Most people wait until the account is overdrawn to start caring. Then they wonder why love feels distant, why friendships fade, why trust gets cold. See, real connection isn't built in grand gestures. It's built in the little things, a random text that says, "Thinking of you," remembering how someone takes their coffee, showing up, especially when it's inconvenient. We crave deep relationships but forget that depth comes from consistency, not intensity. And here's the twist: it's not always the people closest to you who change your life. Sometimes, it's the barista you talk to every morning or the former coworker you haven't called in months. There's power in weak ties. These casual connections often open unexpected doors, new jobs, fresh ideas, even healing conversations. But most folks are so focused on chasing success that they neglect the very network that could carry them there. Don't wait for a crisis to start building your tribe. Make deposits now. Because, as we'll soon explore, the people around you influence your purpose more than you think. Career and purpose. Most people don't lack talent, they lack courage. The courage to step outside the lane they were told to stay in. The irony? The real opportunities, the ones that shape your destiny, are hiding just outside your comfort zone. Not miles away. Just one brave step. That's the adjacent possible. It's not about burning bridges, it's about exploring the road next to the one you're on, the one that scares you just enough. Early in your career, it's tempting to chase the paycheck. We've all been there. But the smart ones know, money follows mastery. Focus on learning, on stacking skills that make you irreplaceable. Read voraciously. Take courses. Volunteer for the hard stuff. Want examples? Copywriters should study storytelling from Pixar. Coders? Study design. Baristas? Learn psychology. Each skill you pick up becomes a tool for future opportunities you can't yet see. And here's something few talk about. Procrastination isn't always laziness, it's a compass. Sometimes the task you're avoiding is pointing toward what truly matters to you. Maybe you're dodging that blog post because deep down you want to write a book. Or skipping that presentation because you're meant to speak on bigger stages. Don't ignore that tension. Lean in. Especially because what we'll explore next might be the fuel your purpose depends on. Health and vitality. People chase productivity like it's gold, but ignore the engine that drives it all, energy. What's the point of having 24 hours in a day if you feel like a zombie through half of them? Truth is, how you feel matters more than how long you work. 8 energized hours beat 12 exhausted ones every time. Yet we treat sleep like a luxury, not the brain's greatest performance enhancer. Let me say it straight. Sleep is strategy. Sacrificing it for hustle culture is like skipping oil changes to drive faster. You might go farther today, but you're wrecking the engine. And movement? It's not just about staying fit, it's about clearing mental fog. Feeling stuck on a decision? Do 10 push-ups. Take a 5-minute walk. Simple, yes, but powerful. These micro-movements reconnect you with your body, and that clarity often leads to breakthroughs. Your body isn't an inconvenience, it's your vehicle for impact. Yet most people treat it like a rental car with unlimited mileage. No wonder burnout creeps in. Want to build a legacy? Start with your physiology. But here's the catch. Even with strong muscles and sharp focus, if your mind isn't growing alongside, well, let's just say, the next chapter will challenge you to level up where it matters most. Learning and growth. The fastest way to learn something? Try teaching it. Seriously, when you explain a concept, your brain has to own it, not just rent it. Ever notice how confused people get clearer the moment they try to help someone else? That's the teacher effect. So, don't wait to become an expert. Start sharing what you do know. Struggling to learn sales? Teach your friend how to sell an idea. Learning personal finance? Break it down for your little cousin. Want to grow faster? Don't just study information. Study people. Biographies are cheat codes. Instead of learning by trial and error for 20 years, You can absorb a lifetime of insight in a weekend. Start with Shoe Dog by Phil Knight if you're into entrepreneurship, or Long Walk to Freedom by Mandela for leadership and resilience. Each story you read builds a mental library of experience you didn't have to live to learn. And here's a counterintuitive truth: don't try to be great at everything. The most strategic minds stay intentionally bad at certain things so they can stay brilliant at others. That's not laziness, it's focus. Your brain can only juggle so much. Protect it. Be a deliberate amateur in areas that drain you, and a master in what fuels your fire. Because up ahead, we're diving into something that might just be more powerful than knowledge itself: emotional intelligence. Most people think emotions are wild beasts, uncontrollable, unpredictable. But here's the kicker. Science shows that the chemical reaction of an emotion, like anger or fear, lasts only 90 seconds. After that, it's a choice. You're the one keeping the flame lit. The problem is, no one ever taught us how to feel properly. We were told to be strong, to get over it, or worse, to pretend we're not feeling at all. True emotional power isn't about suppression, it's about regulation. Imagine being the calmest person in the room when everyone else is spiraling. That's magnetic. That's leadership. You don't get promoted, trusted, or remembered because you're always right. You earn that by being stable when it counts. Vulnerability, when used wisely, is a secret weapon. Share it strategically, and you build trust deeper than any resume ever could. Let's talk gratitude. Left unspoken, it's like keeping money in a bank you never withdraw from. It just sits there, unused. Tell people when they matter. Write the thank you note. Compliment the stranger. These aren't just feel-good moments. They compound like emotional interest. And as we journey ahead, remember this: if you want to change your external world, you first need to master the invisible game, especially the one that money plays. Financial wisdom. Money, my friend, isn't about luxury, it's about leverage. Most people think wealth is found in numbers, but true wealth lives in how much freedom you buy with those numbers. What's the point of earning 6 figures if you never see your kids? That's not wealth. That's a time deficit. The goal is to be rich in hours, not just in dollars. Because every time you say yes to money, ask yourself, what are you saying no to? Here's the trap: as income rises, so do the costs. Bigger house, flashier car, fancier everything. That's lifestyle inflation. And it's a treadmill dressed up as success. You run harder, faster, but stay in the same spot. Smart people flip the script. They buy experiences, not things. Memories age like wine. Objects rust. Want a real flex? Take your mom on that dream trip. Learn Italian just because. Create moments that matter. And the ultimate financial superpower? Margins. Living below your means isn't about scarcity, it's about creating space for opportunities. That extra cushion lets you say no to the wrong job, take a sabbatical, or invest in that dream you've shelved for years. Money can be a cage, or it can be your wings. But even wings need direction. And wouldn't you know it, the next key to that freedom just might lie in your ability to create what no one else can. Creative living. People wait for inspiration like it's divine intervention, as if a lightning bolt will strike the perfect idea into their brain. But creativity doesn't work that way. It's a faucet, not a thunderstorm. Turn it on, and at first, the water runs brown. Bad ideas, awkward drafts, unfinished thoughts. But keep it flowing, and clarity begins to pour out. You need the bad ideas to make space for the good ones. Every artist, every innovator, every genius? They wade through the rust too. Here's the twist most miss. Constraints create creativity. Give someone endless options, and they freeze. Give them limits, like time, money, or a strict form, and suddenly, magic happens. Shakespeare had to write in rhyme and meter. You just need to give yourself permission to begin. Forget perfect. Create first, judge later. Write the ugly first page. Record the messy audio. Sketch the awkward design. Progress is hidden inside those early, clumsy attempts. And track it all. Creativity is a muscle, and if you can't see how far you've come, you'll convince yourself you're going nowhere. So document it. Journals, Notion pages, Dropbox folders full of drafts, doesn't matter. What matters is seeing the proof that you're growing. And when you start combining your weird, wonderful skills in ways no one else does, well, that's when you stop chasing opportunity and start attracting it. But what good is creative fire if your energy burns out before the work is done? Personal energy. Time is measured, but energy is felt, and too many people run their lives like phones stuck at 5% battery. They chase time management tips when what they need is energy management. You can't produce your best work, show up fully in your relationships, or build anything meaningful if you're running on fumes. That fog in your mind? That sluggishness? That's not laziness, it's an energy crisis. And the solution isn't more hours, it's better fuel. Here's where most people stumble. They treat every task as equal. But not everything drains you the same. Pay attention. That morning walk? Energy boost. That one coworker who complains non-stop? Energy vampire. Audit your day. What gives you energy? What steals it? Eliminate, automate, delegate, protect your energy like it's gold. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit daily not for fashion, but to avoid decision fatigue. Fewer small choices equals more focus for big ones. And don't confuse recovery with laziness. Rest multiplies value. Athletes train in cycles for a reason. They know recovery isn't a break from growth, it is growth. Take time to unplug, to do nothing. Even boredom has a function. It clears mental clutter, creates space for clarity. Because, as you'll soon see, when you're energized and aligned, you're far more likely to attract something even more valuable than success: community. Social capital. Your network isn't just about who you know, it's about who truly remembers you. Not the handshake at a conference, but the shared laughs, the silent support, the vulnerability exchanged during life's messy chapters. Real social capital isn't built in LinkedIn endorsements. It's built in time plus truth plus shared experience. Those random texts to check in? Those 10-minute catch-up coffees? That's where real bonds begin to take root. The best networkers aren't collectors, they're connectors. They bring people together without expecting anything in return. It's not, who can help me? It's, who should know each other? That one introduction you make today could change 2 lives forever, and circle back to you years down the road in ways you couldn't predict. Want to build influence? Start watering your garden before the storm comes. You can't grow roots in a drought. And here's the truth. Most people only reconnect when they need something. But the smart ones? They build community consistently, like a habit. Your future collaborators, supporters, and mentors are already within reach. But only if you nurture those small moments. Social capital, once planted, grows with compound interest. And just like your mind needs maps to navigate the world, you need the right ones to navigate through the people in it. Mental models. Most people wander through life using outdated maps, then blame the terrain when they get lost. But your mind, it runs on mental models, shortcuts to understand how the world works. Problem is, no model is perfect. It's like using a GPS with missing streets. Useful, yes, but limited. That's why the wise don't just ask, "What's happening?" They ask, "What happens after what happens?" That's second-order thinking, and it changes everything. Here's a practical example. You get a raise. First thought, time to upgrade my car. Second-order thinking, what will that do to my insurance? My savings? My free time. Success isn't about knowing facts, it's about recognizing patterns, seeing one move ahead while everyone else plays checkers. Want a fast shift? Try inverse thinking. Instead of asking, how do I fix this? Ask, how am I creating this? It's uncomfortable, but it's also liberating. You don't need to be right all the time. You need to be willing to question your mental playbook. Keep a notebook of your biggest decisions and their outcomes. Over time, you'll spot which models serve you and which sabotage you. Because the next step isn't just thinking better, it's using thought to design a life that's actually worth living. Life design. Here's a truth most people never hear. Your life isn't something that happens to you. It's something you can design, like a blueprint, like a portfolio. Not just a financial one, but a rich collection of experiences, relationships, skills, and dreams. The problem is, we're trained to plan big, rigid, perfect lives. But reality? Reality rewards those who test. Think of your life as a series of small experiments. Try something. Adjust. Repeat. Most people wait for clarity before they take action, but the truth is, clarity comes from movement. You won't figure out your passion by thinking harder. You'll discover it by doing something unfamiliar, then checking in with how it feels. Start small. 5 minutes a day writing. 10 minutes reaching out to mentors. One habit. One tweak. Momentum beats perfection every single time. And stop measuring your life by someone else's scorecard. Forget status. Forget the highlight reels. What if your version of success was more time with your kids? Or learning Japanese? Or building a quiet life in the countryside? Define your own metrics. Do monthly reviews like a CEO. What worked, what didn't, what to try next. Because the truth is, you're not running out of time. But the way you're using it? That's where things get real. Let me ask you something, and be honest. Are you living, or are you just running out the clock? You've just seen how time, energy, relationships, purpose, and mindset are all threads in the same fabric. But knowledge without action? That's just another delay. So I'll leave you with a challenge. What's the one thing you're going to do today to reclaim your time, your focus, your life? Will you audit your priorities? Reach out to someone you've drifted from? Start the project you've been putting off for years? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to hear it. Because the people who speak it are the ones most likely to do it. And if this message stirred something in you, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and stay with us. We're building more than content here. We're building lives of meaning, momentum, and mastery. Your future self will thank you for starting today.